Hello and welcome to 10 Minute Tabletop. I'm Devin, and here are the biggest stories from tabletop gaming the past week. In 10 minutes or less, you can get back to playing the game. The highly anticipated Stormlight Archive RPG got a preview of its mechanics earlier this week. Courtesy of Brotherwise Games co-founder Johnny O'Neill, in a Twitter post, O'Neill shared an info card explaining several available actions, reactions, and plot die uses. One notable mechanic is the use of fast turns and slow turns. Players have a guarantee of beating NPCs to the punch with a fast turn, but can presumably do more with a slow turn. O'Neill emphasizes meaningful choices for players similar to Pathfinder 2e, but explains that the Stormlight RPG's goal is to do more with narrative options. Wizards of the Coast gets a new president from Blizzard. John Hight, formerly of Blizzard Entertainment, has been brought on as the new president of Wizards of the Coast. He replaces Cynthia Williams, although he shares the same history in video games rather than tabletop gaming. That said, he reportedly enjoys both D&D and Magic the Gathering, according to the Wizards of the Coast press release. Hight also has a more actual game development experience, having led World of Warcraft expansions. His hiring does indicate Hasbro's continued focus on digital for D&D, but perhaps with a bit more player-friendly attitudes in mind. Why is this important? I was actually looking at John Hight. He is kind of beloved from the World of Warcraft community. I mean, at least from some of the stuff I was reading, it seems that a lot of people thought he had great leadership when he was over at Blizzard, and that he really kind of understands the community and the games that he is, working on. So I am excited to see him working with Wizards of the Coast. Even though I know that Wizards of the Coast is doing a huge push into digital, I think that this might be the right steward for the job. And it's always fantastic when the leadership knows the games and plays the games. Ian World is about to make their own VTT with Level Up Gateway. Ian Publishing announced a suite of digital tools for its Level Up Advanced 5th Edition system. The A5e rules act as a sort of upgrade to the D&D 5e experience by addressing certain player complaints. The A5e monsters are tougher, exploration is more interactive, and players get more options each time they, level up. Now, with Level Up Gateway, players have a way to make official digital character sheets with a step-by-step guidance. This system also provides a dice roller with accurate math, inventory tracker. A Level Up Gateway beta will be available later this year to those who backed the initial Level Up A5e Kickstarter. And integrated virtual tabletop is also planned sometime in the future. Why is this important? It's really interesting to see that the character builder is an essential part of this VTT. We've seen Demiplane have success and get acquired by Roll20. Roll20 also has its Roll20 characters. D&D Beyond, one of the main reasons they were successful is because they had an easy way to guide people through character creation. This is one of the things I think more VTTs need to focus on to actually get adoption of other game systems. I've talked to a lot of players over the years because of my role at Start Playing, and one of the number one things that kind of prevents them from playing is they don't know how to make a character, and the whole process is intimidating. So guided character creation is really important. I think this might do really well for the system. It is more niche when you make a VTT for a single system. I'm wondering if this VTT is going to be for expanded systems. The only VTT out there that I know is for a single system right now is Fablecraft. Fablecraft is a virtual tabletop and digital game that are kind of combined, and the tools are meant to be used with other systems. So this does kind of seem like the VTT is exclusive for their system. I could be wrong. I will wait to see. It is very interesting to see that guided character creation is high on their list of priorities. Quick break. I wanted to thank you for tuning in and watching, and want to talk about our sponsor, StartPlaying.Games. StartPlaying.Games is the number one place to find games, groups, and game masters. If you've always wanted to play Dungeons & Dragons, Pathfinder, Monster of the Week, you can go there. You can put in the day you want to play, the time you want to play, and you can find games with available seats. You can book with your friends. You can book solo and make friends. It really is the easiest way to find a Dungeons & Dragons game or any other tabletop RPG. You can find a game today and you can be playing as soon as tonight. So head over to Start Playing today if you want to start playing today. And our next story, limited edition Dungeons & Dragons 2024 Players Handbooks will be available at Gen Con. 3,000 copies of Special Edition D&D 2024 Players Handbook will be sold early at Gen Con, reports Ian World. This is not only an early sale of the September book, but it's also a special run with the gold foil D&D logo and a commemorative Gen Con 2024 book plate. Those wanting to buy will have to acquire a Gen Con digital event ticket, which will be available at 7 a.m. each day from August 1st to the 4th. The ticket is essentially a reservation reservation, and buyers will be able to purchase the book during certain hours of the reserved day. Why is this important? With Wizards of the Coast not having a presence at Gen Con in the past several years, but last year they decided to ramp back up. This is a huge activation for them, and doing an early sale of a book like this is going to be really hard to do it in a expo hall. So having a separate purchase option, it sounds like they worked really hand in hand with Gen Con to make this happen. Seems that there's a lot of clamor online that this is probably going to sell out each day. But this also makes me wonder, is there going to be other early pre-sales at Gen Con that are going to have this kind of separate sales system rather than the expo floor? And our last story, Manual of the Planes Physical Edition is being hindered by creator disagreements. A successful DM's Guide digital supplement called Manual of the Planes 5e was supposedly to have a print-on-demand run, but one of the creators is allegedly holding the process back. Andrew Welker, also known as QL Games, has been accused by several other members of the team of withholding printing to punish them over disputes about the book's contents. According to Matthew Daly in an Ian World thread, Welker tried to claim the position of project lead despite there being no agreement from the others. Welker has also accused of deleting content from a shared Google Drive that didn't personally appeal to him. The team ultimately wanted to release the print-on-demand book with additional content on top of what's already seen in the already released digital edition, but issues with Welker prevented this from happening. As Welker runs the DM's Guild page for Manual of the Planes 5e, print options cannot happen without his permission. He's allegedly refusing to work with the other creators without lawyers involved. In the meantime, the other creators are working to make their own page where they can offer printed books of their version that they've worked on and done. On social media, the instances are being taken as a lesson in the importance of contracts for even the smallest tabletop RPG projects. Over the past few weeks, we have heard story after story after story in the tabletop RPG industry of disagreements between creators, of projects kind of failing to deliver because there was no contract or there's these disagreements. So it really is, again, the importance of having everything in writing before launch. But another big thing is stuff like this happens in public. Sometimes in some industries, these kind of disagreements don't really come to the public's eye. In the tabletop RPG industry, all this is happening on Ian World, it's happening on Twitter, and this kind of stuff will make it hard to have other work all other places. So having that contract is kind of essential so that everyone kind of agrees and delivers on the same thing. And that's it. Pretty light news week. Thanks for tuning in. If you want to support the show, head over to our Patreon at patreon.com/Total Party Chill, or share this with your friends, your family, or your enemies. Thanks so much, and I'll see you next week.